Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a heart-wrenching story about the clash of dreams and love. They sketch out their dream of growing old together, picturing a cozy little home where they sip tea and watch sunsets. Just as they bask in their emotional satisfaction, a friend rushes in. Annie hasn't come home yet, and her mother is fuming with worry. She knows Annie is with Jack, but she insists on mobilizing the entire town's police force. Annie knows exactly what her mom is up to. It's an overreaction, all to scare her and Jack away. Jack's a great guy, but let's be real, in her mom's eyes, he's a solid trash. This subtitle isn't for your sake. I truly love him. You're only 17 and have no idea what love really is. Seriously, have you even seen real love? I see that face of yours. You don't touch, you don't smile, you don't play. How could you possibly understand what love is? You guys can't even run your own lives. Even though their love is deep-rooted, they have to bow to fate, torn apart by the struggles of nobility. His pride lifts him up, but it also breaks his heart. This love is just too suffocating. Better to let go than to suffer forever. To wrap things up, the next day her mom orders the packing of bags bright and early. Desperate, Annie rushes to the construction site before leaving, but Jack's out on deliveries. A friend warns her to stop chasing Jack, saying the relationship is a lost cause. Okay, could you tell him I love him? With her mom urging her on, Annie reluctantly heads to the car, unsure if this departure is their last. Once Jack hears the news, he rushes to find Annie, only to discover the place is empty. Their summer romance has officially ended. Jack writes her a letter and continues to write every day, pouring his longing into those letters, waiting for Anna's reply. This waiting game becomes the backbone of his life. He waits an entire year, penning 365 letters. Unfortunately, Annie never receives a single letter because her mom intercepts every last one of them. Jack decides to write one last goodbye letter and give up everything to start fresh, but sadly, in these turbulent times, one must expect war. Japan invades their home during that fateful year. Jack joins his friend to enlist and heads to the front lines, but they are ambushed on the way, tragically losing his friend in the chaos. Meanwhile, Annie volunteers as a nurse at the front, hoping for a chance encounter with Jack because fate just loves to mess with them. Wounded soldier Ryan confesses on first meeting, vowing to marry her if he survives. Annie thinks it's a joke, but lo and behold, Ryan actually comes looking for her after he recovers. Right off the bat, he asks her out on a date. Maybe it's just fate playing tricks on her again. Annie is charmed by Ryan, handsome, gentle, not to mention he's a well-off officer from a prosperous family. In her parents' eyes, he's the perfect catch. So when Ryan kneels down and pulls out a ring to propose, Annie is choked up and on the verge of tears, but at that moment, all she can think about is Jack. As the wedding nears, she feels happiness is close, but a house sale ad ruins all plans. Seeing Jack with the dream farm they once wanted leaves Annie stunned, almost fainting. Jack has returned home post-service. His dad knows he wants the farm and acts. Subtitles: he quietly sold his ancestral home and then handed the money over to Jack, aiding him in fulfilling a long-cherished wish. On his way to town to buy supplies, Jack unexpectedly spots a familiar figure. Ignoring everything, he jumps off a moving bus and rushes off to find Annie. But the reality is so harsh. Annie is passionately kissing another man. Seeing her blissful smile, Jack is flooded with mixed feelings. All his hopes and perseverance just shatter in that moment. Day and night, Jack renovates the house, thinking Annie will return if it's repaired. Yet time doesn't heal his wounds, it twists the knife deeper into his despair. His father's sudden death leaves him in despair. Overnight, he grows a long beard and works even harder on the house. Keeping busy is the only way to temporarily numb the pain. The renovated house mirrors their once shared dreams: white walls and sky blue shutters. Unfortunately, everything is different now, devoid of that promise of forever. He quickly puts the house up for sale, attracting many buyers, yet always finds excuses to turn them down. It's either the price is too low, or he's not satisfied with the high offers. Even those that surpass expectations he shoos away. Rather than being unreasonable, he's simply waiting for that special someone, deceiving himself in the process. Annie is no different. She thought Jack had given up on love after months of silence. But now seeing him fix up the house to match their old agreement, her long-lost heart begins to waver. In the end, Annie decides to visit the countryside, telling Ryan beforehand out of respect, thinking he trusts her too much. Driving into town, she sees the farmhouse exactly as they planned so long ago. Just then, Jack steps out. After 7 years. They reunite. Annie is still chatty, but Jack, silence. Annie thinks he avoids her. Embarrassed, she tries to leave, but loses control and bam hits the fence.